From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Monday morning. Hope everyone had a fantastic Easter weekend. It was beautiful weather out there. It was windy. We're going to have more winds for today. More on that in a second. But for right now, just some light snow showers up in the Blue Mountains. Other than that, it is looking like a pretty dry one out there. We are seeing some big time reductions in visibility up towards Snoqualmie Pass. So of course, take it slow up towards Interstate 90. Winds right now gusting out of the north and west around 25 miles per hour for the Kittitas Valley. Out of the south and west for the Blue Mountains and the Blue Foothills, some of those winds between 20 to 30 miles per hour. But these wind gusts are going to be much more widespread and much more of a factor a little bit later today. Right now, temperatures in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, just kind of depending on your microclimate. For lower elevations, right around freezing for the lower Yakima Valley. That's where maybe you might have to break out the ice scraper. Here's your day planner for lower elevations. Lots of sunshine in the 50s by lunchtime, into the 50s and 60s at the peak of daytime heating. Will trend warmer throughout the rest of this week, but cooler for Friday through Sunday with shower chances going up. And you guessed it, maybe some more winds for this weekend. I'll touch on all this coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, Yakima police are investigating a shooting that happened over the weekend, now asking for the community's help in finding the shooter. And a Mexican national could be deported after drug trafficking across eastern Washington. We have those details. And also coming up, Yakima schools have approved some staff cuts, what this means moving forward, and how some parents are responding. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good Monday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us and joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott. Jessica has the day off today. And we do begin the 6 o'clock hour with breaking news out of the Vatican. Pope Francis, the first Latin American pontiff and global symbol of humility and compassion, has passed away at the age of 88. Cardinal Kevin Farrell making the announcement from the chapel of the Domus Santa Marta, where the Pope lived. Francis had been battling some chronic lung disease and had been in the hospital back in February with a respiratory crisis that then developed into double pneumonia. He spent 38 days in the hospital then, his death coming just a day after he appeared on Easter Sunday to bless thousands in St. Peter's Square. We'll, of course, have more on his life and legacy coming up a little bit later in the 6 o'clock hour. Back here at home, taking you to Yakima, where Yakima County deputies are investigating the deadly shooting that happened early Sunday morning. An 18-year-old was shot and killed after a fight broke out at a party on South Keys Road. The suspect, 21-year-old Israel Barriga Vargas of Yakima, fled the scene, and we're told he is considered to be armed and dangerous. Anyone with information on his whereabouts or of this deadly shooting is asked to call the Yakima County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers. And police have released a photo now of a suspect wanted in an armed robbery out of Pasco. Take a look at your screen. It happened around 10:30 Tuesday night at the Sky Market on West Sylvester Street. Authorities say the man pointed a gun at the clerk and demanded cash before he ran off eastbound with an undisclosed amount of money. He's believed to have left the area in a white pickup truck with a black stripe on the tailgate. If you have any information on where he could be, you're asked to call Pasco Police. And a federal jury has found 45-year-old Luis Esquivel Bolanos of Guerrero, Mexico, guilty on multiple drug trafficking and firearms charges. He's now facing up to life in prison. His sentencing set for July 16th, and he may also be removed from the U.S. following that sentencing. Esquivel Bolanos was identified in January of 2023 by the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the DEA as a part of a drug trafficking organization accused of flooding eastern Washington with meth and fentanyl.
During the trial, Mr. Esquivel Bolanos took the stand and testified, claiming that he didn't distribute drugs in eastern Washington and into Montana. I'm grateful that the jury was able to see through his testimony and hold him accountable for the massive amounts of fentanyl, methamphetamine, heroin, and cocaine that he and his colleagues were distributing.
The organization spread as far as central Montana, where many of the illegal drugs were being sold on tribal land. His co-defendant previously pled guilty to his role in the drug trafficking conspiracy. Well, former Yakima County Coroner Jim Curtis recently apologized for the lengthy resignation process. He released a statement just Friday explaining that health concerns played a major role in his decision, and he acknowledged the difficulties in finalizing his departure. Commissioners approved a settlement saying it was necessary to restore order to the coroner's office in the best interest of Yakima County and its residents. Apple Valley News Now spoke with Curtis's lawyer and has more details.
He wasn't completely free to speak in great detail. However, he didn't want to convey that message to the citizens of Yakima, and also to tell them thank you for the time that he's had to serve. And he's also very thankful for the folks who have prayed and continue to pray for him and his family as he continues forward with the next phase.
To read the full statement from Curtis and to see what that settlement agreement looks like, you can head to our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. 6:06 now, and some big changes are brewing for a local distillery. Solar Spirits is relocating its main tasting room to a busier part of town, the Parkway. Dan Watt, co-owner and production manager, originally designed the current tasting room. While the tasting room is moving, the Robertson Drive location will remain the heart of production. The current space will stay open until the new location is ready, and the team is excited for their new space.
We will be able to support more local restaurants because we're going to really change up our dynamic and change up our tasting room, and we'll have more local restaurants participating with our menu. And so we'll go out and we'll buy local prepared dishes, or we'll find products from other restaurants and bring them in.
He says the new space will also serve a wider variety of drinks, and they're hoping to give it kind of a speakeasy vibe. While they've loved their tucked away spot near Highway 240, this move puts them closer to George Washington Way, bringing in some more visibility, foot traffic, and of course new opportunities. And the new location is expected to be open up this summer. 6:07, and the city of Richland is gearing up for some construction at the public library. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma says that this project cost nearly $500,000 and is something that's been in the works for a while.
The Richland Public Library Foundation presented the City Council Board with a $100,000 check to go towards enhancing the outdoor children's garden that is set to be built later this year on the library's property. The gift puts a big dent in the cost of the improvements, which are in total about $400,000. Alan Reither, chair of the foundation, says when they heard about this new project, the foundation wanted to check it out.
The foundation has been looking for a significant project for several years that would be in the neighborhood of $100,000. So that's why we chose this project.
Reither says this new addition isn't just going to highlight some new features, but also security.
To really add what amounts to an amphitheater in the back where the children will be able to sit and watch plays and watch movies and things outdoors. It'll be a fenced area, landscaped and safe for children and their parents.
The first part of the project really shows off beautification within the project.
We're going to start out with benches and walkways and grass, and this amphitheater will be kind of landscaped.
As for the second part of this project, that's where some of the fun comes in.
Things for children to play on. You know, some I want to say games, but really more like something to get their wiggles out so that when they go back into the library, they can relax a little bit more.
The project is set to break ground this summer. Reporting in Richland, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, Monique, thanks so much for that update. He says that he's hopeful that the construction on this will all be wrapped up by the fall. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, Pope Francis has passed away at the age of 88. We'll take a look back on his legacy and explain what happens next as the Catholic Church prepares to choose a new leader. And at 6:10, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Dust Devil Skycam in Pasco. Absolutely beautiful start to our Monday morning. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert forecast after the break.
McCurley Dealerships is celebrating 44 years with big giving and even bigger savings. Fill out an entry form at any McCurley dealership for a chance to win one of two $4,400 cash prizes. Plus, each winner gets an additional $4,400 to donate to one of 44 local nonprofit partners. No purchase necessary. And get special financing as low as 0.9% on a new Mazda CX-90. McCurley Mazda, celebrating 44 years of savings, giving back, and helping you find your way home.
Individuals, couples, and families. You could get a refund of up to $1,290 back on taxes paid last year, as well as refunds for 2023 and 2022. Learn more at workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
In a world filled with accidents, the injured look to Mo, because Mo knows these guys are bulldog tough on personal injury and workers' compensation claims. Mo knows you can go to the other guys, but why would you? From back in autumn, Bulldog Tough.
Spring savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Pick up a copy in store. Jumbo Pack annuals are 2 for $7. Bi-Mart bagged weed and feed, lawn food, and fertilizer are $11.99 each. Save $2 on Purina dog chow. Stag chili is 2 for $4. And Skippy peanut butter twin packs are $9.99. Plus, get ready for your outdoor recreation for less. From fishing to camping and more, Bi-Mart has you covered. Save through Monday, April 28th. Bi-Mart, since 1955.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing. You pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Tonight is going to be a cold one, so for that reason, the National Weather Service in Pendleton has posted this freeze watch in place for lower elevations. It runs from midnight to 9 in the morning, so just be sure you're taking those steps to protect the outdoor pets, plants, and the plumbing if you're living in these lower elevations. And of course, you would have to do that for higher terrain as well. Now let's show you temperatures for this morning as we're right around 40 degrees for Cle Elum, Ellensburg, and Vantage. We're closer to 30 degrees up towards Snoqualmie Pass. Then in the Yakima Valley, right at freezing for Sunnyside. The rest of the valley is above freezing. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, we're spanning from 38 to 45. And then in the Blue Foothills, mostly in the mid 40s, although places like Pilot Rock and Heppner down into the mid to upper 30s. We're also hovering right around freezing in the Blue Mountains as well. Here's your CoCast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket weather all throughout the day. We're going to have seasonal high temperatures for middle to late April. That means mid-50s in the Kittitas Valley, mid-60s in the lower Columbia Basin, closer to 60 degrees in the Blue Foothills. More cloud coverage in the foothills as opposed to the valleys or basin. We'll have more weather just like this throughout the rest of this week, trending warmer into later this week than cooler for this weekend with shower chances going up. I'll track all those moving parts coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. The Vatican confirming Pope Francis has passed away. It's breaking news we've been following all morning. The 88-year-old pontiff died just a day following Easter and, of course, a series of health challenges in recent years as well. Before being elected as Pope in 2013, he served as Archbishop of Buenos Aires and was made a cardinal by Pope John Paul II. As Karen Kafa reports, from the beginning, Pope Francis has touched the common people.
From the beginning, Pope Francis had the common touch.
Buonasera.
A simple good evening from the newly elected Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio from Argentina, the first pope ever from the Americas. equally at home with the poor and the powerful. On the lawn of the White House, he made a plea for immigrants.
As the son of an immigrant family, I'm happy to be a guest in this country, which was largely built by such families.
The Pope focused much of his attention to those on the peripheries, as he called it, the outsiders excluded from society.
The hungry, the thirsty, the stranger, the naked, the sick, those in prison.
He was not so popular at times inside the Vatican. Backlash from conservatives upset about his liberal approach to church teaching, promised reforms of financial transparency never fully materializing, and the scandal of sex abuse continuing to be the Catholic Church's biggest struggle.
He met with victims. He expressed heartfelt sorrow. He expressed resolve to get this right. But, you know, most critics, many victims, would say that that wasn't matched with a policy follow-through.
When the coronavirus pandemic hit in 2020, this image of the Pope blessing the world from an empty St. Peter's Square became a symbol for that desolate time. Francis urged nations to share their vaccines with poorer countries and vaccinated hundreds of homeless and underprivileged at the Vatican. From the beginning of the war in Ukraine in 2022, Francis was an outspoken advocate for peace. Francis avoided outright condemnation of Vladimir Putin, but publicly appealed to the Russian president, begging him to stop for the love of his people, the Pope said. He made similar appeals for peace during the conflict in the Middle East, saying that the Israel-Hamas war had descended into terrorism. He insisted that war is always a defeat and said self-defense that is not proportional is immoral. Francis's most important message was one of fraternity, that we are all brothers and sisters despite our differences. I'm Karen Kafa reporting.
And as the Catholic world mourns the Pope, Catholic leaders look ahead to conclave, the process by which Catholic cardinals select the next Pope. The participants are sequestered and forbidden from speaking to anyone outside the process, which can take several days. Only cardinals below the age of 80 have a vote, which they cast in the Sistine Chapel. Rounds of voting will continue until one candidate receives a 2/3 supermajority. The crowd waiting outside the Vatican is notified a pope has been elected when the chimney above the Sistine Chapel billows out white smoke. So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, we'll have a look at your full first alert forecast, and Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will break down what we can expect as we make our way into the week on this beautiful Monday morning, giving you that live look outside from our Yakima Federal Skycam here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. It's 18 minutes after 6. We'll be right back.
Like compound interest on your savings account, the professional experience and trust Alan Brecky and his firm have accumulated earn them at least a phone call from you if you've been injured in an accident.
Call 735-0546
to find out what your rights are under the law.
This year, Walker's Furniture is turning spring cleaning into spring savings with an indoor garage sale where you can save store-wide up to 70% off clearance items, and new markdowns are arriving daily as we clean out the warehouses with big savings on closeouts, ding and dents, and floor model furniture at garage sale prices. Plus, special financing is available, so you can save big now and pay over time. But hurry up, this is your last chance for final markdowns.
This week at Walker's.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a 2.49% APR on a 2025 Accord Hybrid.
At US Cellular, we're celebrating our customers, like JP here. It's a special event. Us Days.
Yeah, we get special rewards and exclusive deals, and it's only for US Cellular customers. It's like we got our own special club.
Should we show them?
Us Days at US Cellular. Right now, our customers can get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet.
You know, over the years, our firm has developed a tremendous amount of resources to help protect public safety. Timing, equipment, talent, skill, these are all ingredients of success.
This message is brought to you by Alan Brecky Law Offices.
Find out how Idaho Fish and Game is working to rebuild the sturgeon population.
These are the largest and longest lived fish in Idaho. Some of these fish can live to 100 years or more.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Next Live, searching for Spain's Eva Longoria, plus Happy Faces Anna-Lee Ashford. And Friday,
we're starstruck.
Oprah comes to life.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee Weather. Apple Valley News Now, on your side. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at First Alert radar. We're not seeing that much action on it for this morning. We're not going to be seeing much action on it for the next couple of days, as it's going to end up being pretty dry. So we'll go ahead and put this into motion with Futurecast. This is 8 this morning. Should be dry at this point. We're going to continue to let this play out throughout the rest of today into tomorrow. We're going to stop this right around right there, 5 p.m. Could see a few more flurries up in the Cascades. After that, not much doing, so you get the gist. It's going to be pretty dry over these next 48 hours, but that doesn't mean impact from weather are going to be zero. In fact, we'll have more winds to deal with for today, just like we were dealing with over this weekend. Winds uniformly out of the north and west, gusting around 40 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. That peak time frame would be from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., so a pretty broad time frame. Okay. So for today, high temperatures, 50s and 60s for lower elevations. That's pretty normal for mid to late April. Of course, we touch on the winds and plenty of sunshine for lower elevations, but more cloud coverage for the Blue Foothills and up in the Blue Mountains and the Cascades. For tonight, clear skies, overnight lows down into the 20s and 30s, calmer winds after 11 p.m. But back to the temperatures, as remember, there's that freeze watch in place. So for lower elevations, you might have to take those steps to protect the outdoor pets, plants, and the plumbing. We'll keep it seasonal for Tuesday, trending warmer into Thursday. That's going to be the peak of the warmest temperatures, at least over the next 7 days, as we trend cooler for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That doesn't happen for no reason, as that's going to coincide with shower chances going up for Friday through Sunday. Also, winds look to be a big impact once again, specifically for the Kittitas Valley again. So we'll have more to say about that storm system later in the week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Plenty of sunshine and warming up through Thursday, cooler and wetter for Friday through Sunday. In Yakima, trending warmer with bright skies through Thursday, maybe a shower for Friday, then cooler into Saturday and Sunday. In Ellensburg, strong winds today, calmer Tuesday through Thursday, then another round of stronger winds possible Friday through Sunday. In Hermiston, lots of sun and warmer weather into later this week, but cooler with some small rain chances Friday through Sunday. Then for Walla Walla, dry, bright, and trending warmer into Thursday, then abruptly cooler and wetter for Friday and this weekend.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, music legend Stevie Nicks is releasing a new album with a twist. It's not just music, it's her life story. We'll tell you what fans can expect from this unique project.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
If you have heart failure or chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help you keep living life, because there are places you'd like to be. Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and bacterial infection between the anus and genitals, both which may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness or swelling between the anus and genitals. Ask your doctor about Farxiga today.
Farxiga. Get ready to feast at Legends Casino Hotel's ultimate all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Dive into fresh Dungeness crab, wild Columbia River salmon, juicy prime rib, and much more. Taste it all every Thursday and Saturday starting at 4 p.m.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house is the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing. You pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222. Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back. 6:26 in your entertainment news this morning. A judge has denied a request from Sean Diddy Combs' legal team. They denied that on Friday. Earlier last week, Combs' lawyers asked for a 2-month delay in his sex trafficking and racketeering trial that is set to start on May 5th.
In a letter to the judge on Wednesday, his lawyers argued they need more time to prepare after additional charges were added. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Well, singer Stevie Nicks is working on a new solo album.
Nicks says it will be autobiographical. That's a tough word.
It's a funny word to say, isn't it? I know. It gets me every time. The 76-year-old says Prince and other fantastic men that she has known inspired this new album. She appeared at the Pollstar Awards earlier this week and revealed that she's already completed 7 songs for it. Nicks has released 8 solo albums in addition to the 8 albums she produced with Fleetwood Mac.
She's an 8-time Grammy winner and has been inducted twice into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Right now, it is unclear when Nicks plans to release the new album.
All right, well, we will look forward to it. She's an incredible voice in music.
Yes, and released one of the most iconic weather songs of all time. Thunder only happens when it's raining.
So there you go. And is that true?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
Okay, just checking. Oh, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have a heads up for drivers in Walla Walla. Some major street closures that could impact your commute this week. We'll tell you when and where. And staff cuts are coming to the Yakima School District. We'll break down what's behind the decision coming up. It's 6:28. We'll be right back.
Regain your quality of life with expert spine care at Prosser Memorial Health. Neurological spine surgeon Dr. David Yam, with over 20 years of experience, specializes in comprehensive spine care, minimally invasive surgery, and disc replacement. Dr. Yam is now seeing patients at our new Spine Center locations in Prosser and Walla Walla. Call 509-786-5599 today to schedule your appointment. New, returning, and second opinion patients welcome. The new Spine Center at Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Wild Horse Resort and Casino presents a Mexican Mother's Day celebration with Mariachi Estrellas de Mexico, live on May 10th. Feel the rhythm, savor the vibes, and dance the night away with live mariachi melodies from Jalisco and Michoacan. Celebrate Mom and enjoy drink specials, dancing, and more. Tickets are on sale now at wildhorseresort.com and the app. Feliz Dia de las Madres at Wild Horse Resort and Casino, Pendleton.
Spring is in the air, so let's fill it with music. At Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos, our new beginning spring used piano sale is in full swing. From charming uprights to grand statement pieces, we've got gently loved pianos at prices that'll put a spring in your step. Each piano is expertly tuned, ready to play, and waiting for you. Spring into new beginnings today. at Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos in Richland, because life's more fun when you know how to play.
Gather the family and come on down to the 62nd Annual Parade of Gems, April 25th through the 27th in the Modern Living Building at the Fairgrounds. Go back in time as we present fossils of the Northwest and beyond. See demonstrations on gold panning, wire wrapping, lapidary, and more. Dozens of vendors will be offering rock and mineral specimens and jewelry too. There will be games, door prizes, and more. Doors open at 10 a.m. Come one, come all to the 62nd Annual Parade of Gems, April 25th through the 27th at the Fairgrounds in Yakima.
Our business is changing lives through the power of work. I work out here to help customers with donations, greet them and thank them, and that's what I do. I got 2 Spirit Awards of recognitions. When I retire here, I will say goodbye to the store and they will honor me probably and might put a nice plaque on the wall that I worked for many years. I like it here. I'm in a better place at Goodwill. I really like the administration here, so that's excellent for me.
Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
Hoping sturgeon survive in North Idaho. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6. This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Monday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us and joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
And that 3-degree guarantee looking pretty nice over a beautiful weekend that we had.
Yes, it was gorgeous weather. We're going to have more of that for this week as well. But then as we head into next weekend, it gets a little bit more interesting.
Oh,
but for now,
come on.
I know. There's always something, right? There's always a catch. But
yeah.
Okay, 3-degree guarantee sponsored by our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. On Friday, I went with the forecast high of 72 in Pasco Tri-Cities. Hey, what do you know? Verified it right at 72. So the jackpot went up to $150. So for today, I'm going with a cooler 66 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 63 to 69, the jackpot's going to go up to $175. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleynewsnow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now what's on your screen is a live look at First Alert radar. Just a few snow showers up in the Blue Mountains for this morning. Otherwise, it is dry, and we are seeing some pretty good visibility for most of the map, but up in the Cascades, some lousy visibility on the Interstate 90, specifically up towards Snoqualmie Pass. So take it slow up that way. Use the low beams. Also, we're tracking wind gusts for this morning. Out of the north and west, the Kittitas Valley around 25 miles per hour. Out of the south and west, between 20 to 30 miles per hour for the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains. But a little bit later today, these are all going to switch up out of the north and west. We're going to see some especially rowdy winds up in the Kittitas Valley. Right now, temperatures either in the 20s, 30s, or 40s, just kind of depending on your microclimate. We're right around freezing in Sunnyside, so in the lower valley, you might have to break out the ice scraper for this morning. The same thing applies to the Cascades and the Blues, of course. Here's your hour by hour for today for the Tri-Cities. Lots of sunshine. Cool, but not cool for this time of the year. Pretty seasonal out there for mid to late April. That means mid-50s in the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys, mid-60s for the Yakima Valley and the lower Columbia Basin, closer to 60 in the Blue Foothills with more clouds. But in general, a very nice day. Once you look past the winds, I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. We start the 6:30 half hour with an alert for drivers in Walla Walla. 2 street closures could impact your commute over the next several days. Crews will be doing some utility work in 2 busy areas, and one of them starts this morning. Take a look at the map. Sumac Street will be closed between 4th and 6th Avenue today. The closure starts at 7 a.m. and goes until 5 p.m. They're doing some water utility work there. And then later this week on Friday, Cambridge Drive will also close between Wilbur Avenue and University Drive for some utility work in that area. That closure also starts at 7 a.m. and runs until 5 p.m. Access will be maintained for residents and pedestrians, but emergency vehicles won't be able to pass through. The Yakima School District Board of Directors has approved a reduction in force as a part of what they're calling a long-term stability plan. The move could mean cutting 43 full-time positions for the 25-26 school year. District officials cite declining enrollment, rising costs, and broader economic challenges as a trend that they say is affecting schools across the state. One parent, though, that we spoke with says any staffing cuts raise some serious concerns, especially when it comes to the impact on students.
I think we need to prioritize some of the staff, the parapros that are the ones here to help the teachers that are really the ones that work behind the scenes.
Superintendent says that they are trying to safeguard essential services within the schools. Well, on Friday, U.S. Senator Patty Murray visited Klickitat Falls. That's where she observed Yakima Nation members dip net fishing on the Klickitat River. She also met with tribal leaders, including Chairman Gerald Lewis, to discuss salmon recovery efforts in the Columbia and Snake Rivers. Murray's team says that forest management and wildfire prevention have become growing concerns for the Yakima Nation, especially in light of recent federal funding cuts. Murray says because of possible plans to cut the Bureau of Indian Affairs office in Toppenish, that could hamper Yakima Nation's timber sales, which in turn helps pay for Indian Child Welfare Act cases. Well, calling all board gamers, one local group is rolling the dice on Connection, literally. Tri-City Area Gaming, also known as TAG, is using board games to build something bigger than just game night. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen shows us how this is all going to play out.
Dice are rolling, cards are flying, and people are enjoying their favorite board games and community, including me. Game on. Tri-City Area Gaming, or TAG, is a nonprofit organization that welcomes anyone to the table. Literally, board games, card games, or just good conversation. TAG's mission is to unplug from screens and plug in to community.
We keep growing, we keep on, expanding into other places to play board games. We keep on finding out other organizations that want to use our services and help grow and then provide safe spaces for people to just come out and enjoy themselves, play board games and just let loose and not worry about the world that's going on outside.
What started as a small group of gamers has grown into a regional hub for connection. And while video games have their place, Kessner says there's something special about facing your opponent across the table.
I actually met Matt last year here at TagCon and haven't spoke to him since last year here at TagCon, but seeing him today, I was like, hey, do you want to play games? I remembered it was fun playing a game with Matt. He's a very great opponent.
That kind of face-to-face interaction, it's not just fun, it's therapeutic. TAG is even using games to support those with social or developmental challenges.
Our president has a certification to work with therapists to do therapeutic Dungeons and Dragons, which is really kind of cool, honestly. Working with a therapist and people that are in therapy to try to give them a character and let them express some of their feelings and explore some of their emotions through the character.
From casual game nights to conventions like TagCon, TAG is constantly rolling out events to bring people together. Reporting in Pasco, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Thanks for that report, Dan. 6:38 still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Nearly 80 roosters rescued from cockfighting in Grays Harbor County. Coming up, we hear from one local animal rescue that took on the birds and what they're asking for from the community. And giving you that live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley studio in Kennewick is a beautiful start to your Monday. Our changes in store for the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will let you know after the break.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee Weather, Apple Valley News Now on your side.
In 1997, my father-in-law, John Ramsey, started this business. We took it from 2.5 acres. Now we're 22 acres.
What separates us is you're not just a number when you walk in the door.
Professional, on time. They answer all my questions.
If you're looking for a high-quality trailer at the right price, this is the place.
It feels like a home away from home.
I can guarantee when you buy an RV from us, you are part of the Broadmoor family.
At Broadmoor RV,
we make camping fun!
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
The Pacific Clinic is a health, sports, and medical campus where we feel like we're a one-stop shop. Primary care is everything that you do here at the Pacific Clinic. We really focus on preemptive care. And what that means to us is going out and playing tennis and working on that proprioception, that balance, that social aspect, flexibility, all those things.
Living an active lifestyle is extremely important to our health. Research shows that just by incorporating exercise into our daily lives, we can reduce our risk of cardiovascular disease by 50%. So cutting your risk in half is amazing. And just by incorporating regular exercise, we add years to our life.
Stress is the primary reason why living an active lifestyle is so important, because it reduces stress. Stress brings on anxiety, depression, all of the things that we don't want to feel.
So there's some really good benefits to cold therapy, specifically with regards to neurotransmitters. What's important about those neurotransmitters is when they go up, it improves your mood. And so it's become a really good treatment option for depression. And as far as the hot therapy, things like a sauna are really good at preventing cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's disease, and even some respiratory diseases. I would recommend that folks take advantage of all the services we have to offer here at the clinic. You can make significant strides toward improving your health by utilizing all that we have to offer.
I didn't think someone like me was at risk of shingles.
The rash couldn't possibly be that painful.
And it wouldn't disrupt my life for weeks.
I was wrong. I didn't know that 99% of people over 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time.
I learned that the hard way.
But you don't have to. Talk to your healthcare provider today.
Find out how Idaho Fish and Game is working to rebuild the sturgeon population.
These are the largest and longest lived fish in Idaho. Some of these fish can live to 100 years or more.
Fly the Northwest, Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Next live, searching for Spain's Eva Longoria, plus Happy Faces Annalie Ashford. And Friday,
we're starstruck.
Oprah comes to life.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. It's going to be similar to the weather we had this weekend with the sunshine and the wind. So the winds for today out of the north and west still around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. They're definitely going to be calmer up into the Cascades. And then in the Yakima Valley, also winds out of the north and west, but these calmer compared to the Kittitas Valley. They'll be around 25 miles per hour. Lots of sunshine, highs in the low to mid 60s. The same thing in the lower Columbia Basin. These winds also out of the north and west around 30 miles per hour. And then for the Blue Foothills, we're going to see the windiest conditions today in Lexington, Heppner, Pendleton, and Pilot Rock. Other than that, it'll be breezy. Highs around 60 for the most part for the Blue Foothills, and down into the 40s and 50s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Now let's talk about the big picture, the seasonal rainfall deficits and surpluses we've been tracking since October 1st. A lot of green on this graphic. That's good. These are seasonal rainfall surpluses for the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley. We're looking especially nice in the lower Columbia Basin, but this red indicates a seasonal rainfall deficit in the Blue Foothills. Thankfully, we do have some rainfall on the way for this weekend. And we have some other factors as we head into this weekend as well. I'll touch on those coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. Well, nearly 80 roosters were rescued from cockfighting in Grays Harbor County. Now they're recovering at a Pierce County sanctuary. Jim Nelson spoke to the co-founder of Heartwood Haven, who says the birds are in good physical condition, but some are showing some signs of aggression.
Heartwood Haven was founded on the principles of care, respect, and love for animals.
And I'm just going to open up his little door because he's getting shut out of his coop.
Yet the Pierce County Rescue, co-founded by Kate Cirklovich, is often filled with reminders of evil.
Whoever was training these guys really messed them up. And we have nearly 80 of these guys who were rescued from an animal fighting investigation.
On April 1st, the sanctuary was asked to take these roosters in after they were discovered in Grays Harbor County.
This guy, you can kind of tell, like based on his behavior, the way he's picking stuff up and like throwing it on the ground, coming over here, trying to, that's aggression. And we don't typically see human aggression in cockfighting roosters. So these guys must have been like, some of them must have been really messed up in the head.
But most of the birds, Kate says, are well behaved and would do well with proper care. Some stay outside, others inside. It's all part of the evaluation process.
I just reach in and go to grab them.
It's not an exact science.
And if they're like running away, like, oh my God, I'm terrified, That's a green flag.
For now, the roosters are here, but Heartwood Haven needs your help. They could use money to temporarily care for the roosters and good, qualified adoptive homes where these birds can thrive.
I do think that the large majority of them will be able to find homes. That's my hope for them. Of course, there's a much larger hope that cockfighting no longer exists.
Hope is a big part of the mission here. It all started with one rescued rooster.
He was just such an awesome dude who taught us so much, and I know that the rest of these guys are also awesome dudes who deserve the same, even though you're a little feisty.
In Roy, Jim Nelson, King 5 News.
6:45 and still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, we have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. And giving you that live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. It is a beautiful start to the day, but our changes in store for us this week. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth will have a look at your full First Alert forecast after this.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down.
We were starting a business from the ground up.
People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
We have a very special bond, I think, as a family. Spectrum is the connecting thread to everything we do.
It provides us with reliability, lightning speeds, and allows us to do what we need to do in our lives.
From school to homework to entertainment, Spectrum's the perfect match for me and my family.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
What makes NIU unique? The amazing customer service that we offer to our patients. They know that they're heard, that they're listened to, and we genuinely care about their well-being.
From the second I walked in that office, I felt seen, I felt heard, I didn't feel judged. It just was like, we're a team and we're gonna figure this out.
I had a rare form of breast cancer. Dr. Fedino has just been fantastic. She was really just on my side and helping me, and I'm so relieved and blessed that I went there.
I'm nowhere near diabetic, and I feel amazing. And I lost 55 pounds, and I've been able to keep it off.
She had saved my life because if she hadn't taken just that moment to ask me one extra question, I absolutely would have had an ugly cancer 6 months later.
Go to newuwomensclinic.com to explore the countless ways that wellness meets beauty.
When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
Welcome to the Flower Bar, where every bouquet tells your unique story. Our talented designers craft personalized masterpieces from the freshest seasonal blooms, ensuring no two arrangements are ever alike. Whether you're building your own creation or choosing from our designer collections, we'll bring your floral vision to life. Visit our new location in Richland and discover a truly bespoke flower experience. Start your floral journey at the Flower Bar on theparkway.com.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. This weekend we had some beautiful weather out there. It's going to be more of the same throughout this week. We are tracking a few snow showers up in the Blue Mountains for this morning, but there's not going to be a lot on the radar over the next 48 hours at all. We'll go ahead and show you this with Futurecast 8 this morning. Should be dry, and then throughout the day should still be dry. And then for tomorrow, we'll stop this right around 5 p.m. Could have a few more flurries up in the Cascades, but other than that, that's about all she wrote. So a dry forecast, but still an impactful forecast in terms of the winds, as they're just going to this is going to be a continuation of what we're going to have, or what we had from this weekend, as they'll uniformly be out of the north and west. Peak time frame 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Still gusting around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 40 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. So just more of the same from this weekend, and high temperatures today, 50s and 60s for lower elevations. Pretty seasonal for mid to late April. Lots of sunshine for lower elevations, but more clouds for the Blue Foothills, the Blue Mountains, and up into the Cascades. And then for tonight, we'll be clear. Overnight lows down into the 20s and 30s. Lower elevations will probably have to protect the outdoor pets, plants, and the plumbing. At least that's what the National Weather Service in Pendleton thinks, with that freeze watch in place, and the breezes again calmer after 11 p.m. We'll continue to keep it seasonal for Tuesday, and then warming up to highs about 10 degrees warmer than normal for Thursday. Then we start to cool off gradually into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we cool off for a reason. This coincides with shower chances going up for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Also with this little stretch, looks like we could be windy again in the Kittitas Valley, and that would make it 3 weekends in a row now where that's happened, which is just ridiculous. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Plenty of sunshine and warming up through Thursday, cooler and wetter for Friday through Sunday. In Yakima, trending warmer with bright skies through Thursday, maybe a shower for Friday, then cooler into Saturday and Sunday. In Ellensburg, strong winds today, calmer Tuesday through Thursday, then another round of stronger winds possible Friday through Sunday. In Hermiston, lots of sun and warmer weather into later this week, but cooler with some small rain chances Friday through Sunday. Then for Walla Walla, dry, bright, and trending warmer into Thursday, then abruptly cooler and wetter for Friday and this weekend.
Now, the morning sprint.
6:51 and your morning sprint now with your national headlines. Pope Francis has passed away at the age of 88. His death announced just early this morning by the Vatican. He was the first Latin American pope known for his humility, focus on the poor, and global outreach. Of course, we'll have full coverage coming up on Good Morning America. And the FDA is reminding parents that all batches of Gerber's Soothe and Chew teething sticks have been recalled and should not be given to children. FDA issuing the recall reminder on Friday after receiving reports that the product is still available at some retailers in store and online. Gerber initially announced the recall earlier this year, saying the product poses a potential choking hazard for babies and young children. And in your health headlines this morning at 6:52, a new study links regular marijuana users to an increased risk of dementia. In a study of more than 6 million Canadians, scientists found that within 5 years of emergency room visits for cannabis, 5% were diagnosed with dementia. Within 10 years, 19% were diagnosed. And back here locally, Yakima County deputies are investigating a deadly shooting that happened early Sunday morning. An 18-year-old was shot and killed after a fight broke out at a party on South Keys Road. Now they're looking for this man right here on your screen, 21-year-old Israel Barriga Vargas of Yakima. He fled the scene. We're told he is considered to be armed and dangerous. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Yakima County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers. And Pasco police have released these photos of a suspect wanted in an armed robbery. Take a look at your screen. It happened Tuesday night around 10:30 at the Sky Market on West Sylvester Street. Authorities say the man came in, pointed a gun at the clerk, demanded cash, and then ran off, headed eastbound, believed to have left, left that area in a white pickup truck with a black stripe on the tailgate. If you have information, contact Pasco police. And a federal jury has found 45-year-old Luis Esquivel Bolanos of Guerrero, Mexico, guilty on multiple drug trafficking and firearm charges. He now faces up to life in prison, sentencing set for July 16th. He may also be removed from the U.S. following that sentence. He was identified in January of 2023 by the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the DEA as a part of a drug trafficking organization accused of flooding eastern Washington with meth and fentanyl. And State Senator Bill Ramos has passed away unexpectedly. It happened Saturday evening. His wife, King County Councilmember Sarah Perry, confirming the news in a Facebook post. Governor Bob Ferguson expressing his deep sorrow, calling Ramos's death shocking and difficult to process. Ramos grew up in East Oakland and went on to work for the U.S. Forest Service and U.S. Department of Transportation. He was just 69 years old. Traffic alert for you. If you are headed through Walla Walla, there are some street closures that could impact your commute over the next several days. Crews will be doing some utility work in 2 busy areas. One starts this morning. Sumac Street will be closed between 4th and 6th Avenue today. And then later this week on Friday, Cambridge Drive will also be closed between Wilbur and University. Access will be maintained for residents and pedestrians. All right, 6:55, trending this morning. Goonies never say die, and neither does the Oregon home featured in the 1985 classic film. Are you a Goonies fan?
Yes.
Have you seen The House?
Yes. Oh, no, I haven't seen The House, but I want to. Astoria is definitely on the bucket list.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Our producer has been to the house, she said. So Emmy Award-winning designer James Pierce Conley is restoring the house back to its mid-'80s movie glory. Conley says it will be a mix of old and new. He intends to bring the 1896 home up to the 2025 code while keeping the interior the way that it was featured in the Goonies.
Connolly's team hopes to finish the project in time for the film's 40th anniversary on June 7th.
Ah, that's fun. And it's such a tourist attraction. Astoria itself, of course, is beautiful.
Beautiful.
And then to have such a cult classic film right there, based right there in the home, people love to go see it.
Yeah.
It's on your bucket list, you said?
Yeah, well, the market I was in before this was Southern Oregon, so I had easier access to the coast, and the Oregon coastline is just really special. So.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
Miss it over there.
I know.
But
so
loving the Tri-Cities and loving this weather
yes.
that we're going to have over the next week.
But you say it's going to cool off a little today?
Yes, well, we're going to keep it seasonal for today and tomorrow, then warming up into later this week, and then cooling back off as we head into this weekend. Yeah, so there are ebbs and flows to it. All right, visibility this morning is tough up towards Snoqualmie Pass. Elsewhere, visibility is looking A-OK. The winds starting to pick up a little bit more now in the Kittitas Valley, closer to 30 miles per hour. A bit later today, they could gust around 50 miles per hour uniformly out of the north and west. Temperatures are around freezing in the lower Yakima Valley, so could be a little frosty there to start, but elsewhere other than the Cascades and Blues, but for lower elevations, it's just too warm to have to break out the ice scraper for this morning, but we do have a freeze watch in place for tonight. So for everyone in lower elevation spots, once again, you would probably have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. A little bit later today, plenty of sunshine, except for in the Bluefoot Hills, more cloud cover there, but seasonal high temperatures for mid to late April. The bottom line for the forecast is will be seasonal to start off this week, trending warmer into later this week, but cooler this weekend with some of those shower chances, maybe some more winds as we head into this weekend. But first, the wind gusts for today. Just wanted to take a look at that once again out of the north and west, around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley.
Blustery.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thanks so much for waking up with us here for Good Morning Northwest. You can always find the latest on so many more stories and weather on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. Good Morning America is next. And of course, we'll have full coverage on the passing of the Pope. And we'll be back tonight at 5.
Have a great day.